was on my way to a massive corporation in the Gulf of Florida, near the deepest abyss in the Atlantic, the Milwaukee Deep, 8,500 meters below sea level. Entrox, under new management, was Aqua's nerve center for breathing gas, fuel, and transport. I was also looking for the antique data treasures that Admiral Cox and the rest of the world's elite powers were desperately trying to find. The fact that I had to search the area our ancestors called the Devil's Triangle, east of a group of islands called the Bermudas, gave me a pretty good idea that whatever they were looking for boded ill. An ancient legend said that this aquatory was the playground for the devil himself. Of course, another story said it was a secret alien base carrying out electromagnetic experiments. To me, it looked more like a scrapyard, proving only that our forefathers knew little about ships, compass needles, and the aero and hydrodynamics of the atmosphere. Then there was the threat that a massive methane bubble might break loose below and head for the surface, weakening the specific gravity of the ocean, which just happened to be keeping my ship afloat. Whoever created the power plant world of Entrox must have had a large and voracious brain with an extra gland devoted to hellish madness. Under the Entrox turbine facilities, you can feel the crushing threat of extinction more than anywhere in Aqua. Our feeble-minded ancestors located their most highly developed launch site here, eager to conquer what they called the heavens at any cost. All around me on the seabed were the twisted remains of their idiotic efforts, testifying instead that they ended up down here, in hell.
Believe me, the new Entrox is above board, under control, and international. It's not the old tangle of power and money that it used to be, when Leo van der Waal still wielded the scepter. It's a fact that his gun-running gang almost triggered a war.
You don't have to tell me about it. I was there. So where's van der Waal now? Jail, I hope. But people like him don't usually do time.
Not unless you consider a stylish new station off Old Hudson Bay doing time. It's called Gotham. And they rake in mega credits from illegal methane hydrate mining in the Bermuda Triangle, along with the usual techniques.
Harper likes to keep track of any possible source of income.
Watch out, Harper. Too much avarice blocks the blood vessels.
That's what they used to say about salt. I think it's all hogwash.
Personally, I think van der Waal may be planning a return to power. He's already hired a real fighting machine named Lloyd to head his ex-Interpol battle gang.
Christina Lloyd. I know her. She looks like a patchwork quilt. A real plague. Dangerous as a great white. Hey, DeGrange is calling for me for check-in.
Flynn! Damn. I'm sorry, but I don't have time to give you a proper welcome right now. I've got to shove off.
Sergei Chang, the new boss of Entrox in a hurry? What's up?
We're in trouble. The supporters of my predecessor, Leo van der Waal, are hitting us again and again with sabotage and terrorism. I just met with Lisa Bonham, one of your wings, a minute ago. If you want to know more, talk to her. I just don't have the time now.
Great. I wonder where the hell she's off to now.
How may I help you, sir?
How about 2 out of 3 falls in my bathtub?
I'm sorry, sir, but that's outside of my area of expertise. I'm trained to sell tickets.
Tell me, how do you like working at Entrox, Sugar Coral?
It's much better than it was under van der Waal. We even have a trade union now, and the retirement benefits are first class.
Okay, but what about sex and crime? I hear you guys do a great side business in industrial espionage.
Competing in the international market requires vigilance, sir.
Say whatever you want. Hydrate is a superb energy source. You can't blame Vanderval for getting in and making a profit before a bunch of international office farts decide who gets what and how much.
If it's illegal, it's illegal. Methanhydrate is intended to be a democratic fuel, with fair and equitable distribution.
Sediment, my dear, sediment. I won't hear such nonsense. What does fairness mean in Aqua, when there's always the threat that someone will turn off your air? We live like drones, sneaking and ducking around, keeping our traps shut in the hope we'll live another day. Protest once against anything, and you get your throat torn out.
Well, man is dominated by physical urges. Gluttony, territoriality, and procreation.
Oh, stop your complaining, Flint. Think positive. Life means hope.
Lady, knock off the esoteric waffling. Hoping means freaking out.
Flint, make your way to the power station. Chang will contact you there. And don't forget, Vanderval's gang is as dangerous as they come.
Yeah, I know. He's got Christina Lloyd running the show.
Lloyd? That ragbag? She's got more titanium in her face than you have protecting your cockpit.
But she is tough. I mean really tough. I saw her in the Peru Trench during the hot vent crisis. She went in there like a barracuda. No inhibitions. I blew the stern off her bomber and she navigated what was left of it in her diving gear. She went for it. Sheer suicide. I've heard since then she has an artificial spine.
Yeah, made from alpha ceramics. That's what they're using for the new weapon barrels. You better watch out.
Lloyd is 100% the product of the Shogunate. Nerves of steel, bones of triple-hardened silicon carbonate, and a killer shark mentality.
Welcome to Entrance.
What's the word, Chang?
I know why you're here. Honestly, I have no idea what the contents of this ominous data files are. I also don't like being a pawn in a game where I don't know the rules, let alone the fact that it's being played in my house. I trust Admiral Cox, of course, but not the Chaos and Neopolis. If I were you, I would talk to the workers at the power storage station. They know the score. If a valve is jammed in Aqua, they can not only tell you where, but also when, why, and for how long.
That's good to know, Chang. Anything else?
Watch out for Vanderval and his gang of hired psychopaths, particularly Christina Lloyd. They're working the Hydrate in the Bermuda Triangle, in open defiance of international treaties. They're also involved in gun running, the illegal transfer of technology, the gene trade, and who knows what else. Don't make the mistake of thinking Vanderval's a toothless ex-tycoon friend. He's a mean old buzzard with a bite worse than a megaship.
Well, if he bites me, he'll need new dentures.
That's exactly the kind of attitude we need to try and Flint.
I'll be there.
Jeez, I feel like freaking Alice in Wonderland. Everything's so techno-cool. I think my smart suit's gonna freeze to my butt. I need fire, action, glowing torpedo tubes.
Having another one of your dopamine overdose fits, Harper? You've got your orders. Recover that data.
Whoa, the hell with that. I'm not a sleuth, Flint. I destroy things for a living.
Listen, Vanderval isn't going to make this easy for us, so we'll need good recon.
Alright, I can't argue with that. I hang around here, knock back a few hard tricks, try to blend in.
Harper, even when you're on your best behavior, you're about as inconspicuous as a stingray in a bathtub. Ask around, but make it snappy. We don't have time to waste on this one.
Light Jedi, have you been to Gotham before? I love it there. All that ultra-antique stuff like the Statue of Liberty, the Brooklyn Bridge. It's great.
Great and strange. Listen, I just ran into Chang and he was flying out the door. From the look of him, the pressure's on. I smell a job. What did he tell you?
I just had a little chat with his security boss. It seems Vandervalt's men are helping themselves to Antrox energy. That's why they're sneaking around at the power storage station. They're tapping into it. They're acting pretty impudent because they know they've got better weapons and better pilots. When they bring in their tanker with its incredible energy storage systems, they flank it with scouts and bombers from the old Antropol Guard.
What the hell are the new Antrox police doing?
About all they can do. They sit back and watch. They're not up to it, Flint. They're kids. Hurried through cadet school and rapidly promoted. There is no experience there at all.
Sounds like our cue.
Yeah, but we're under strict orders from Chang not to destroy any of the Antrox station systems. That's not going to be easy.
What can I get for you, stranger?
I've been hearing about a new kind of disease that comes out of the brackish water of the South China Sea. It kills people, but they're not dead. They turn into vegetables, but something inside them keeps kicking.
I know just what you're talking about. One Aquarium Tsunami Booster coming up.
Light! We're debating the pros and cons of the various communication systems.
You know, fiberglass, synapses, ELF. If you cut off just one station, it's as good as a death sentence.
What's with all the talk about synoptic communication?
Bionics, man! Via genetic engineering, Machina Antarctica has produced a highly sensitive ampulla of Lorenzini. Now, electric impulses can be passed from one synapse station to another. It works best in the sulfide layer, where cold and warm waters meet. In the future, everyone in Aqua will have their own synaptic number, and communication will be entirely neuroacoustic.
Enough, Leonie, enough. You'll have to excuse her. She's a physicist. She welcomes every change, but not me. I'm not that smart. And don't ask her about the turbine fields.
Oh, yes! We're registering increased velocity of the Gulf Stream. It won't be long until we reach the petawatt limit, for the first time in more than 500 years.
That sounds very industrious. Tell me, do you know anything about some antique data carriers that Vanderval might have in his possession?
That old codger has millions of credits worth of antiques. Try talking to Soveso in the power station. He used to decode transmissions for Vanderval.
Well, I know a war heroine when I see one.
Flint? Dead-Eye Flint? Jane Brooklyn, sabotaged to order. I heard they turned you into algae fertilizer off Australia. So what's a gorgeous hunk of human being like you doing in Vanderval's backwater?
Still kicking, for one thing. It's not easy turning me into sediment. Tell me, have you heard anything about synaptic transmission stations and how they can be eliminated?
Hey, you've got something cooking, don't you? Well, I just had orders to clean up an outside branch of the Shogunate, meaning take it offline for a while. The rule of thumb is to destroy the attached habitat that contains the cutout switch, which brings down the whole system. If you want more, talk to Atahualpa Jones. He's dealing drugs in Atacama City now, but he comes over here to make bulk purchases of synthetics. He's also a former Introx cop.
Dude! It's so wet here. I love Introx. The techno-gothic hype, the colors. Everything's so wet. The next big bang in civilization. Whoa! Is going to happen right here.
Jones, I think you better zip home to the tornado zone and your cozy scavenger. Your drug-mangled brain can't handle a holiday like this. You ought to concentrate on something else, like the Entropol ships Vanderval uses. I hear you used to pilot one yourself.
Whoa! Fire! Blood and bone splinters! That's the toughest outfit in Aqua. I got sucked in. The pressure never let up. We never slept. we could do it too because we developed a stimulant called turbo speed. But I do know how to blow those boys away. So, listen up. There's a very small spot on the side of their ships that isn't covered by turrets. Dude, those turrets can't swivel down vertically. An easy thing, but you better keep moving. When you have breakfast with the devil, you need a strong spoon.